Town of Abbeville. Town in northern France. It is part of the Somme department in the Picardy administrative region. It is located near the mouth of the Somme Canal on the Somme River. It has an area of 26.42 square kilometers. The population consists of 22,406 people, according to the 2022 census. It is located 20 kilometers from the English Channel. It is about 200 kilometers from Paris. Abbeville is located near the A16 motorway and is about 1 hour and 50 minutes by car from Paris. To the southeast is the city of Amiens. The town has rope factories, carpet factories, yarn factories, and a brewery. Locks are also produced. Abbeville has an oceanic climate because it is close to the Atlantic Ocean. Snow remains on average for 18 days in winter. It is stormy for 26 days of the year. July and August are the months with the most precipitation. Rain is frequent and regularly distributed throughout the year. The oceanic influence helps keep temperatures from getting too high. History of the town. Paleolithic age remains excavated by Boucher de Crèvecoeur de Perthes in 1844, indicating that the area was an ancient settlement, are exhibited in the Boucher de Perthes Museum. The Abbevillan culture is the site of the Paleolithic age culture period, considered the oldest biface core tool culture in Europe. It dates back to approximately 700,000 years ago, an undetermined phase of the Pleistocene. The remains were found among high terrace deposits in the lower Somme Valley in a suburb of Abbeville, France. Among the stone tools unearthed were core tools and biface flake tools with pointed or wavy edges bearing deep flake marks. The hand axes are linked to the lower Paleolithic stone tool tradition. The site, rediscovered in 2017, yielded biface tools and flint objects dating back to 650,000 to 670,000 years ago. When the Roman Empire occupied the region, they named the area where today's Abbeville town is located Abatis Villa. The town was the lowest crossing point of the Somme region during the Middle Ages. The first mention of Abbeville in history is in the book Heriulf, written by Heriulf of Oudenburg, a monk and historian who lived in the 12th century. During the First Crusade, the town of Abbeville was a meeting point for many soldiers coming from the northern provinces. Founded as Abatis Villa and connected to the Abbey of St. Riquier in the 9th century, Abbeville gained legal status in 1184. It was the capital of the Ponthieu region during the English rule between 1272 and 1453. The first castle of the Counts of Ponthieu, called Castrum, is located here. In 1272, the Ponthieu region, together with the town of Abbeville, passed to the kings of England through marriage. However, King Philip III the Bold of France claimed that King Edward II of England had not fulfilled his vassal duty and took the city back. In the mid-13th century, the town of Abbeville was one of the first ports of the Kingdom of France and an important city for trade. In 1259, the General Assembly of the Kingdom met in Abbeville. King Henry III of England and King Louis IX of France met in Abbeville to sign the Treaty of Paris. This treaty resolved the wars that had taken place during the reign of King Philip Augustus of France. During the Hundred Wars of 1337 and 1453, Abbeville was ruled by both the English and the French. This situation caused great suffering to the inhabitants of the city. The city had to pay excessive taxes. The city was devastated by years of plunder, epidemics, and wolf infestation. For this reason, the city appealed to the King of France twice in 1406 and 1415. King Edward III of England passed through here before starting the Battle of Crécy in 1346. During these years, the city was greatly affected by the English expeditions. With the Treaty of Arras in 1435, the region was transferred to Philip the Good, Duke of Burgundy. In 1471, King Louis XI of France attempted to take the town of Abbeville, but failed. In 1477, after the death of the Duke of Burgundy, he regained all of Picardy and Abbeville. In 1480, 1483 and 1582, plague struck Abbeville. In the early 17th century, over 8,000 people died, and the population of Abbeville decreased. Mary, daughter of King Henry VIII of England, and Louis XII were married in this city in 1514. Abbeville town developed when Van Robbeys, a Dutch fabric and tapestry manufacturer, founded the curtain workshops called Manufacture Royale de Reims in 1665. The Edict of Nantes, which allowed Protestants, was repealed by King Henry IV of France in 1685, and the Edict of Fontainebleau, which prohibited people from becoming Protestants, came into force. As a result of this event, Abbeville town experienced economic difficulties. Protestants, who made up the majority of the skilled workforce, left the town. This situation left Abbeville behind in production and trade. In 1693, the Ponthieu region became a refuge for many Bretons and Normans who fled their country because of famine, but most of them died of poverty. François-Jean Lefebvre de la Barre, a French nobleman, was tortured, had his limbs cut off and burned in piles of wood on July 1, 1766, at the age of 20, after he did not salute the passing of Catholic religious processions, and Catholic judges accused him of atheism and various other charges. This incident has taken its place in the history of Abbeville and France as a symbol of Catholic religious intolerance and violence against its victims. After the French Revolution, the French National Convention on November 15, 1793 posthumously honored La Barre as a victim of superstition and pardoned him by the state. Today, there is a La Barre monument dedicated to him in Abbeville. There is also a statue of him opposite the Montmartre Basilica in Paris. The monument is an annual meeting point for secularism and free thought advocates. La Barre has become a symbol of the anti-religious struggle. In 1855, the Abbeville Royal Cloth Factory, one of the world's first textile factories, was established. The factory was taken over by the politician Jean-Baptiste, randoing in 1849, and converted into a joint stock company. The famous French Admiral Anatole Amédée Prosper Courbet was born in Abbeville on June 26, 1827. The admiral is famous for the Tonkin Campaign between 1883 and 1886, and the Sino-French Wars of 1884 and 1885. His successes on land and sea made the admiral a national hero of France. He was buried in Abbeville when he died. Abbeville was occupied by the Germans during World War II. Abbeville was liberated from German occupation in 1944 by the Polish 1st Armored Division under the command of General Stanislaw Maxek. Abbeville Belfry. The Abbeville Belfry was built in 1209. It is one of the oldest bell towers in France. The bell tower shows the rise and development of the administration in the region. It is one of the historic bell towers in Europe, registered by the UNESCO World Heritage Committee in 2005. It has housed the city's museum since 1954. Château de Bagatelle Abbeville Mansion. A mansion built in 1753 by the owner of the house, Abraham Van Robbeys. It was built with pink and white brick stone. There are lemon trees in its garden. The interior is furnished with Louis XV and XVI furniture. According to legend, the spirit of the owner of the house, Anna Elizabeth Emily Van Robbeys, is said to roam in the middle of the bedroom on the first floor. Churches. St. Wulfran Church. Built in 1488, the building is a masterpiece of the magnificent Gothic art of northern France. The facade of the building is striking. Its 55-meter-high towers provided the opportunity to watch potential enemies at the time. The rose motifs and Renaissance statues on its facade also add richness to the building. Inside the church, there is a vaulted wooden ship's hull shape, appropriate for the profession of the city, which was once a port. The side chapels built in the 16th century have altars and stained glass windows. The stained glass windows are extraordinarily beautifully patterned and colored. Paintings made by American painter William Einstein, who lived in France, inspired by the Bible, decorate the interior of the church. Since St. Wulfran Church was built on a swampy area at the time, its weak points were discovered by architect Violet Leduc, and a restoration was carried out in 1860. The church, which burned down during World War II, was rebuilt. It was opened for worship in 1998. Saint Sepulchre Church. It is thought that the foundations of Saint Sepulchre Church date back to the time of the First Crusade, and that it was built in the 11th century where the Crusaders gathered. The name of the church is only mentioned in the Red Book of the City Council members in 1332. Saint Sepulchre Church took its original form in the 15th century when it was built in the flamboyant Gothic style. In the 19th century, the bell tower and transept were rebuilt in the neo-Gothic style. The sculptures and stone reliefs inside the church are realistic and aesthetically pleasing. The church was damaged in the bombardment on May 20, 1940. The vaults and some walls collapsed. It was later restored and opened to visitors. It has beautiful stained glass windows designed by Alfred Manasseh. The church is classified as a historical monument. Eminville Park. Eminville Park in the center of the town, with its attractive gardens and 100-year-old trees, is used as a picnic, play, and resting place for visitors. The park is full of landscaped borders and plants. Abbeville Train Station. Built in 1856 by the Nord Company. The red brick, wooden-clad building was declared a historical monument on December 28, 1984. The station's services to some places have been cancelled. The train service to Lutréport was stopped in 2018. But today it is actively serving the city area. It has services such as a real-time timetable, a movement table, and assistance for disabled passengers. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. As the number of likes increases, informative quality videos will rise to the top and the number of views will increase. Goodbye.